Have you ever pondered the importance of engines in aircrafts? Why are they so essential? Engines, the beating heart of any aircraft, are the very lifeline that enables these magnificent machines to soar through the skies. They play a pivotal role in powering the aircraft, propelling it forward and maintaining its flight. Understanding the core mechanics of an aircraft engine is not just for the aviation techies amongst us, but also for the casual aviation enthusiasts. It's a fascinating world of combustion, thrust and power. The two main types of engines used in aviation are piston engines and turbojet engines, each with its unique characteristics and applications. Piston engines, for instance, convert the chemical energy of fuel into mechanical energy through a series of explosions within its cylinders. This mechanical energy then rotates the propeller, creating the necessary thrust for flight. So next time you look at a plane, remember this. Without engines, planes would be nothing more than expensive paperweights. Primarily, aircrafts utilize two types of engines, the piston engine and the turbojet. The piston engine, a classic in the aviation world, operates by burning a fuel-air mixture in a cylinder, converting chemical energy into heat and then into mechanical power, fed through a connecting rod to the engine's crankshaft, rotating it and driving the propeller. The propeller, in turn, generates the thrust necessary for flight. The turbojet, on the other hand, works on a different principle. It draws in air, compresses it, and combines it with fuel in a combustion chamber. The resulting hot gas expands and is expelled through a nozzle, creating a powerful jet of exhaust gases that propels the aircraft forward. Each type of engine has its own unique characteristics and uses. Piston engines are often found in smaller aircrafts, while turbojets power large commercial jets and military aircraft. In this video, we'll delve into the fascinating world of piston engines. At the heart of a piston engine, we find cylinders and pistons. Now let's dive into the fascinating world of how these engines actually work. A classic piston engine has a number of cylinders, inside of which the pistons slide. Each cylinder is a mini combustion chamber where fuel is burned. The burning of this fuel produces heat, which causes the gases to expand. This expansion acts upon the piston, pushing it down within the cylinder. What we're seeing here is the transformation of chemical energy from the fuel into heat energy, and then into mechanical energy. The piston is connected to the crankshaft of the engine by a connecting rod, or conrod for short. This rod serves a crucial role in converting the linear motion of the piston into rotational motion of the crankshaft. So as the piston is forced down by the expanding gases, it drives the crankshaft to rotate. Now, what does the rotating crankshaft do? It's here that the magic of propulsion comes into play. The crankshaft transfers the energy generated by the engine to the propeller. Most airplanes have the propeller directly coupled to the crankshaft, and the crankshaft is also the propeller shaft. The propeller then produces the thrust force necessary for flight. So in a nutshell, what we have is a process where the chemical energy of the fuel is transformed into heat energy through combustion, which then becomes mechanical energy that forces the piston down. This downward motion is converted into rotational motion by the connecting rod, which makes the crankshaft and thus the propeller spin. This is the magic behind the piston engine, transforming fuel into the power of flight. This is an elegant process, a dance of physics and engineering that takes us into the skies, whether we're in a small private plane or a larger commercial aircraft. It's a marvel of human ingenuity that's been refined over the course of more than 100 years, and it continues to propel us forward, quite literally, into the future. But how exactly is a piston engine built? Well, there are various construction variants of piston engines, each with its own unique design and advantages. Let's dive into a couple of these. Radial engines are one such variant. They are called so because the cylinders are arranged radially around the crankshaft, much like the spokes of a wheel. This design was popular in older engines, especially those used in agricultural operations, thanks to its excellent power-to-weight ratio. Then we have inline engines, where the cylinders are arranged in a line, similar to the engine design in most cars. Some of the earliest airplane models had inline engines with cylinders positioned vertically above the crankshaft, with the cylinder heads above the engine. This design, however, posed a few challenges. The high positioning of the engine body obstructed the pilot's visibility, and the propeller's ground clearance was reduced, necessitating longer landing gears. A simple solution was to invert the cylinders so that the crankshaft was positioned above. This not only improved visibility, but also increased ground clearance for the propeller. There are also other variants, such as V and H engines, named after the arrangement of the cylinders. These were commonly used in military aircraft like the Spitfire or Tempest, which required high power outputs. The piston sliding inside the cylinder forms one wall of the combustion chamber. It is fitted with rings that seal the piston within the cylinder, preventing power loss and oil from entering the combustion chamber. The crankshaft and connecting rod convert the piston's linear motion into rotational motion. The crankshaft also harnesses power from all the cylinders and transfers it to the propeller. The connecting rod serves as the link between the crankshaft and the piston. The intake valve allows the fuel-air mixture to enter the cylinder, while the exhaust valve lets the burnt gases exit after combustion. Spark plugs ignite the fuel-air mixture, completing the combustion process. The design and construction of a piston engine greatly influence its performance. Now, let's take a closer look at the key components of a piston engine. At the heart of it all, we have the piston. The piston is a cylindrical component that slides back and forth in the cylinder. It's the piston's movement that creates the power used to turn the aircraft's propeller. The piston's job is to convert the chemical energy from the fuel into mechanical energy. The cylinder is the space in which the piston moves. It's within this cylinder that the fuel-air mixture is compressed and ignited, causing the piston to move. The cylinder is one of the central parts of the engine, forming the combustion chamber where the magic happens. Next up, the crankshaft. The crankshaft, connected to the piston via the connecting rod, transforms the piston's linear movement into rotational movement. This rotation is what ultimately drives the propeller, turning the mechanical energy into propulsion. The connecting rod, or conrod, is the link between the piston and the crankshaft. It's like the arms in a rowing team, converting the up and down motion into a circular one. Now, let's talk about the valves. The intake valve allows the fuel-air mixture to enter the cylinder, while the exhaust valve lets the burnt gases escape once combustion has occurred. These valves open and close at precise moments, ensuring the engine operates smoothly and efficiently. Last, but certainly not least, we have the spark plugs. These are the catalysts for combustion. They ignite the compressed fuel-air mixture inside the cylinder, causing a mini-explosion that drives the piston down and turns the crankshaft. It's like a beautifully orchestrated dance, each part moving in harmony with the others, all working together to power flight. From the piston's powerful strokes to the crankshaft's steady rotations, each component plays a critical role in the operation of the engine. Each part of a piston engine plays its own vital role in the symphony of flight. Thus, understanding the mechanics of a piston engine is essential for any aviation enthusiast. This intricate piece of machinery, nestled beneath the wings of an aircraft, is the heart of its propulsion system. It is the silent hero that empowers the aircraft to defy gravity and soar through the skies. Let's recap what we've learned. Aircraft can be powered by a variety of engines, but the two main types are piston engines and turbojet engines. Each has its unique characteristics and applications, but today we delved deep into the world of piston engines, which remains a popular choice in many smaller aircraft. We've explored the basic principles of a piston engine. Remember, it's all about the conversion of energy. The fuel's chemical energy is transformed into heat energy through combustion. This heat energy then causes the expansion of gases, which exerts pressure on the piston, moving it within the cylinder. The linear motion of the piston is then converted into rotational motion by the connecting rod, which turns the engine's crankshaft. This rotational energy is then transferred to the propeller, creating the thrust necessary for flight. We've also taken a look at the construction of piston engines. The various designs, be it radial or inline, each with its own advantages. Older engines had cylinders arranged radially around the crankshaft, providing an excellent power-to-weight ratio. Some aircraft have inline engines, where cylinders are arranged in a row, similar to most car engines. And then there are other variants like V or H engines, used in military aircraft like the Spitfire or Tempest, which needed high power outputs. Lastly, we've identified the working parts of a piston engine. Each part, from the piston and connecting rod to the crankshaft and valves, plays a pivotal role in the engine's operation. It's a symphony of motion, a testament to human ingenuity and our relentless pursuit of flight. The next time you see a plane in the sky, remember the incredible engineering hidden beneath its wings.